Welcome to the Business and Bud Show. You know it's time. Start thinking like a winner when you get online. Streaming audio and video to get you primed for a future of success, a life you design. Business and Buds is the online show for people who want to learn about creating a thriving business and a thriving network. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Business and Buds Show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Business and Buds Show. It's been a minute. We've been busy, but we're still kicking. We're still cooking. Mike's just hanging in his car. Are you in your driveway?
Yeah, I'm just hanging out in my driveway.
Hanging out in the driveway, going to enjoy an ice cold brewski. It is a Friday afternoon, and you know what? We're like, let's fire an episode off. If you guys aren't subscribed, please do subscribe on YouTube, subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play. We're everywhere. Stitcher, all that stuff. Get on there and subscribe. And it wouldn't even be Business and Buds if Mike didn't hit the wrong button like within the first minute and accidentally log off. So this is official that I was just saying it wouldn't even be an official episode if you didn't like hit a button and log off in the first minute. So this is fucking great already. But we are here. We are recording, and Mike's going to have some beers, and we're just going to chat it up. We hope everyone is enjoying their day, enjoying their life, and enjoying their time on this planet like we are, because you only get one. You only get one shot, people. One shot, one opportunity to live it up. And so you might as well do what you want to do and enjoy it all. There he is.
There we go.
No worries. Like I was saying, you got one life. You might as well enjoy it. And this wouldn't even be an official episode if your phone wasn't fucking bumping in and out of this thing anyway. It's like it'd be totally like unofficial if we didn't have some kind of difficulty with Mike's technology, you know?
Well, that's okay because Pat, you've forced me to basically spend like $40,000 on a barn renovation, so it's no big deal. It'll be taken care of.
We got years and years of greatness to come. So for all you people that are already a part of the movement, congratulations, because it's only going to get better from here. But that's what there's a lot that's happened since we last posted an episode. And a lot of these, we archive a lot of shows. So we'll bang 10 shows in a week into a folder, and then we kind of slow drip stuff onto the channel. So some of the stuff you guys saw, even this past week or two, was filmed 3-4 weeks ago.
Yep.
So since we last were talking, Joe Biden got more votes than any presidential candidate in the history of U.S. elections. Donald Trump got more votes than any sitting president in the history of United States elections. They're saying Joe Biden got 81 million votes and Donald Trump got around 75 million, which is the most ever in both categories.
Well, if Joe Biden got 81 million votes, then I can claim that I have $11 million cash in the bank right now.
I'm telling you, Mike and I are two of these people that are extremely skeptical of what we're being told about the election results. And here's why. Because I don't know how, again, I don't think we've even discussed this. The votes started coming in on election night, which was November 4th, a little over a month ago. The third, excuse me. I say the 4th because they stopped the count in the middle of the night.
Well, there was a water main break.
Right, which they found out was like an overflowing toilet in like the building next door. Like, you guys, this is like the classic bullshit move that like people predicted for months. So like the votes are coming in. Donald Trump's beating the shit out of Joe Biden. Like you get to about round 7, round 8. You guys know me as a boxing fanatic. So, I mean, you're looking at a blowout round by round. All of a sudden, like they stopped the counting in like 5 main states that Joe Biden would need to win. And he blows through the record number of votes by getting an extreme amount of numbers in like 6 or 7 counties. He lost like more counties than anyone's ever lost and still won the election. He won the least amount of counties that anyone's ever won and won the election, correct?
Correct, yes.
I mean, we're at a point where, and again, I want to stick to the data and the statistics. We are literally looking at statistical anomalies here. A guy that I could probably show up in Pittsburgh tomorrow and 4 people would like come to see me with like Mike and maybe his wife and like his kids, maybe some of his relatives. That would be a bigger crowd than Joe Biden would freaking draw in Pittsburgh.
Well,
and actually, we're supposed to believe that this guy got more votes than anyone in the history of the United States elections.
Well, it's funny that you say that because he brought Lady Gaga to Pittsburgh, and there was literally only 200 people that went, and that was mostly to see Lady Gaga.
Which is 200 people.
You called it. You said my phone was going to fall. You called it.
It's okay. This is all part of the show. That's that right there was more exciting than a Joe Biden rally. But still, it's just maybe we're just questioning. You should question stuff, by the way. This idea that we're like not allowed to question stuff now, all of a sudden that it's a party affiliated like the Democrats or something like that is ridiculous.
Well, I have a lot of questions about a lot of things, and I'm sure that we'll figure out how to tie this into business. This is slowly but surely becoming like a Business and Buds politics show. And I don't hate it because politics, it plays a role in a business in every aspect. But
it does.
I think about this for a second. The military is not letting military people get vaccines, the COVID vaccine. What the fuck? But you're going to mandate it on frontline healthcare workers, the people that we actually fucking need if something were to go wrong with the vaccine. Did you see that chick that passed out after getting injected?
Yeah, so apparently she like gets lightheaded often was the excuse that I'm now seeing. I'm just
sure.
If we're going to play devil's advocate, we got to play the other side. So apparently she passes out easily. And so that could have been a contributing factor to the fact that she just got this brand new COVID-19 vaccine that was not supposed to be out this year. It was a miracle if it came out before the end of the year. It's here. This is why people don't trust the narrative, because they say all these things and then they end up being wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the boy who cried wolf. And it ties directly into business because CNN, MSNBC, CBS, ABC, any of these places, they're businesses. And so when you consistently put out a story, the Hunter Biden story is disinformation, is what they said 3 or 4 months ago. Now, all of a sudden, there's an FBI probe and it's being reported. All the same people that said it was bullshit are now reporting on an FBI probe. So then it wasn't bullshit.
Right?
At what point are we just going to be like, well, we don't believe anything you guys say anymore?
I'm already there.
You can't call people wacko theorists when they've been lied to over and over and over and over and over again for years and years and years and years by the same organizations and the same media companies. And now all of a sudden, we've been right how many times? I even make comedy skits. I reported on the Hunter Biden story on my little spaced out news skit months ago. And people were commenting being like, dude, come on, Hilton. This has been debunked. Well, where are you guys at now? You guys are pretty quiet in the comments this week. So this is exactly ties directly into business and what we talk about. This is why we're so open about stuff on the internet. We don't have anything to hide. And that's why people do business with us. The more you're open and the more honest you are and the more transparent you are, the more people will want to do business with you. People do business with people.
Correct. Yeah. So, I mean, that's a fundamental thing that is, what's the best way to put it? It translates across the board, right? So for instance, we just signed another client that Pat's going to be producing some podcasts for as well. And that company they're incredible. Number one, they have a product that was developed by a doctor, and they used to do this in clinics and various things. And what it does is it speaks to your subconscious and your brain and can literally alleviate like the negative voices that are counterproductive to your life, right? So if you have anxiety, there's a module for that. If you want to be the best direct sales representative, there's a module for that. If you want to overcome your weight loss journey and you're constantly snacking at night because you don't feel like you're good enough to actually lose the weight, whatever it is, there's modules for all those different things. The reason why, like, we didn't film a podcast for the past month, which is fine because we filmed so many in the beginning, is because Pat and I actually do legitimate business. I may have a month where I'm fucking swamped. There was 2 weeks where Pat couldn't even get in touch with me. Literally, we just played phone tag back and forth. True. And once I had time to talk to him, I was getting another fucking call that I had to take and just keep ramping up everything as we go. It's important, I think, that people realize that, like, we live in the age of information, right? But we also live in the age of disinformation. It is so easy to put out false narratives, even as, like, your own company. So, for instance, Pfizer can put out this thing that says that they have 90+% efficacy rate on the virus. Well, where the fuck were you at with the flu? And why is that only at a 40% efficacy rate on the flu virus? How can you get to 90% on a virus that was virtually unknown a fucking year ago, and something that's been around for 60, 70, 100 fucking years, you can't even get over 40%? It's a money grab. Like, I don't give a fuck who you are. The Pfizer CEO is like, oh, I'm not going to take the vaccine. I want to make sure that I give it out to the people.
Give me a break.
Get the fuck out of my face. There's no goddamn way. Every rich person in the world, if they knew that this vaccine worked and they wouldn't get coronavirus, they'd fucking stick a needle in their arm. They'd do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, it's fishy. And this is the whole transparency thing. This is why we brought up these topics, because they're hot button issues. And for a long time, me being on the internet, especially being like a singer and a performer and all these things, I avoided all this stuff because it's like, you know, growing up, Dolly Parton is a great example of this. Dolly Parton was in an interview. Great rack. Incredible rack.
I want to see him.
Everyone does, even women. But she was in an interview one time, and some guy tried to kind of weasel her on a hot button issue to try and, push for a response. And she was like, oh, well, I know what you're doing, and I don't like it. I'm here to talk about my album. And my daddy always told me, you let people think how they need to think, and you go ahead and you do what you need to do. Whatever she said, right? But she's like, I'm not playing into this whole lure me into this hot button issue to try and get my opinion to smear me on your news. I'm here to talk about my record. If you want to talk about my record, let's talk about the record. What song do you like the best? What do you think I should do a music video for?
Coronavirus.
Yeah, right. But I think that times have changed. It's not the early 90s or the late 80s anymore. And these things are now what people talk about. Comedians, singers, performers, rappers, country stars. People talk about who they're voting for, how they feel about Corona. Everything's changed. You got The Rock endorsing Joe Biden and Kamala Harris this year. You've got Lil Wayne endorsing Donald Trump. I mean, times have changed. People are standing on one side or the other. And it's not a secret anymore.
I mean, it's both good and bad.
In a lot of areas, I'm just saying. Especially on the
reality is, no one should care who you and I fucking want to vote for. No one.
Right.
And no one should give a fuck who The Rock thinks is the best. Because at the end of the day, you have to think about special interest, right? So if I don't have a special interest in this, there's not a single person that's paying me to think the way that I do, right?
Right.
But there very easily could be a way where The Rock or any of these people of influence, like real influence, get monetized in some way, shape, or form. Maybe they hear about a special stock that they should short. I don't know. There's so many ways for people to actually make monetary gains in this world, like to the nth degree. So, for instance,
especially with this new era of social media influence.
Well, think about this. If you're The Rock and you have, let's say, 100 million liquid, right? And you want to short a stock thinking that it's going to go down, right? You want to short a stock and you're thinking that it's going to go down. You can do that as an option, and you can buy 100 contracts at that price for a minimal amount, and you can take $1 million and turn $1 million into 100 million fucking overnight. Overnight. But most people don't think about that sort of thing. They don't have to actually transcribe any sort of money or monetary thing whatsoever. You could be sitting there and you could just whisper in someone's ear, hey, guess what? Tesla's going to go 20x over the next 2 years. Think about that for a second. You put in a million into Tesla and then it goes up 20, 25x. That's a whole movie and it's passive income. You didn't do a fucking thing for it. And you're taxed differently. So you're taxed on a capital gains rate versus taxed on an earned income rate. Especially in California, that makes a big fucking difference in what you keep.
Especially when you're living in Commeyville.
I think about things like that where I'm like, if I were a politician, and honest to God, I hope that this gets clipped forever and I become one, I will be the most corrupt politician on earth. I'm just saying it straight up. Like, think about it from this perspective, right? If you know that you can play the game and you can play the game illegally and not get caught, why the fuck wouldn't you do that? If no rules apply, then no rules are there.
That's what we're looking at now. I mean, you got these people smashing cell phones of evidence that they did all this kind of stuff, and then you can't go back and review it. And then they get off, and then everyone's like, oh, well, they found nothing. And it's like, well, of course they found nothing. They smashed 35 phones of evidence. And
or they bleach spit it.
Whatever they do. And you could go at it the other way. People point at it on the left or the right. There's always an argument for either side. And what I see is one of them gets televised and maybe the other one doesn't as much, or people let people off because they want their team to win. And instead of actually holding anyone to the fire, I can't get away with running a fucking stop sign, but people will smash cell phones full of intelligence evidence and get away with it and then run for the presidency. It's unbelievable.
Well, okay, so let's think about this.
But it's like
I'm breaking the law.
If you can get away with it, why not just do it? And that's how those people think, because they're never held accountable.
But okay, so technically I'm breaking the law right now, right? I'm drinking in my car.
Yes,
that's illegal.
An open container policy there.
Yeah, so technically that's illegal.
But I also believe.
So it doesn't matter if your car is on; it's technically illegal.
Oh, there you go.
Granted, I'm home. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not driving anywhere. I had Alana bring out beers to me because my kids are inside and they're being watched, but they're loud as fuck. And my barn is cold as shit, so I'm not going to go out there until that's done. And what options do I have, right? Either you guys have a shit ton of background noise, or I freeze my balls off to make this content, and I'm not going to do that. Or I sit in my car and I have heated seats and I fucking just relax and it feels
nice and
good
comfy.
and I enjoy myself while I shoot this content with you. One of the biggest things that I've noticed of 2020, and this goes on both sides of the aisle, right, is hypocrisy.
Oh, dude, it's incredible.
Across the board. So it's going to be one thing for someone to write in the comments of this fucking Instagram clip and be like, well, he lives in Pennsylvania and he broke the law and he's sitting in his car drinking a beer and he should get a DUI for that. My neighbor up the cop is a fucking sheriff. Come fucking get me. I'll tell him that too. I'll say, hey, Ron, come fucking arrest me. And he's going to bring me down fucking White Claw because that's what he does. He brings me White Claw all the fucking time because I take care of him. I give him free CBD products for his entire force.
Right. These are the same people that when you present them overwhelming evidence that Hunter Biden's done something illegal, they'll say, well, what about Trump's taxes and Ivanka getting trademarks in China? Well, that wasn't the topic. Okay. That maybe he should pay more taxes and maybe Ivanka's on some shit too, but that wasn't what the topic was. People always, like you said, it's so hypocritical. They automatically go to the other side to deflect from the guilt of the people that they are in the closet with or in bed with their thought process. It's crazy that there's no acceptance of responsibility on either side. That's why when you go watch Spaced Out News, I'll rip on Joe Biden pretty hard because I feel like nobody else does. But like I ripped Mitch McConnell the other day. No one likes Mitch McConnell.
No, fuck that guy.
No one on either side of the aisle likes Mitch McConnell. So we're all finding some common ground in that. And that's what, because he's,
I don't think that there's anyone, though. I don't think there's any one person that thinks that Trump hasn't taken an advantage whenever he could. Right?
Right. And those people all rode his coattails too, because none of them would have got elected without his popularity.
Correct.
Dislike the guy all you want. That's fine. But the same thing went with Obama. Obama was widely popular, and that's why all those Democrat people won, because they rode on his coattails. The second that they had to go on their own, they'll throw him under the bus the second they can. That's the problem with this political spectrum in the scene, is that there's no loyalty at all.
None. No. Well,
and that's not what you teach in business. That doesn't work.
No. It doesn't. But politics as a whole, if you look at politics as a whole, it's business, right? But it's bad business.
I was about to say, it's shit business.
It's people that, I'll make a deal with you if you do X, Y, and Z, and I'll do, ABC. Well, that's all fine and dandy, but no one ever goes to think that there's a million other forces at play that are going to affect X, Y, and Z and ABC. And the problem is
affect American families all over the place. And so when you're selling somebody out for the other side, it's a bad deal.
Well, not just that, but all these politicians think that they're incredibly smart, right? Of course they do. They have huge egos. They have huge egos, and that's how you become a politician. You have to have a big fucking ego to believe that an entire city or an entire state is going to believe in you, or a country, right? You have to have the biggest ego, like top 0.01% egos ever. That's totally fine and dandy. But the problem with ego is you don't ever, whenever you have a lot of ego, you don't lead with your best intentions. It's why I do mushrooms all the time. I have a huge fucking ego. And whenever I have a big ass month or I think like I'm on the top of the fucking world, I take mushrooms on purpose to bring me down to a fucking person that doesn't have any sort of ego at all. And I start to realize like, okay, this person is this and they mean this to me because of this. And I take all of that ego out of it and it allows me to refocus and recenter in a better way. I'm not saying that these politicians should do mushrooms. I'm not advocating the use that anyone fucking does mushrooms, although you should. Put a disclaimer down there that says Mike doesn't timestamp this, and put a disclaimer down there that's like Mike doesn't actually believe you should do drugs. But the reality is, like, I bought buylegalmushrooms.com. I bought buylegalheroin.com. Buylegalcocaine.com. I bought all these fucking URLs because I believe in the freedom of fucking choice. I'm not going to go create a heroin company, but I'm also going to squat on that domain until the person wants that domain that wants to sell cocaine. I don't care if you sell it, but you're going to pay me a lot of money for that URL.
Well, and I love that. And that's something that I rip on those skits is I don't care how you think or what you want to do. The problem I have is that when you use that influence to try and silence everybody else that doesn't think like you, you can't just rip on one side for 4, 6, 8, 12 years and then all of a sudden say, hey, well, you guys are welcome to be our friends now because you think that you've won something. That doesn't work either. We see a lot of people who have been ripping on the conservatives. Let's just come out with it. Ripping on the conservatives. Conservatives are shitheads. Trump supporters are shitheads. And now it's like unity time because you guys won. That's fine. You can do whatever you want, but don't get mad when people make fun of you and tell you to go fuck yourself. Because it's not about unity. It's about conformity.
It's about conformity. It's about control.
Business. That's bad.
It's about
business.
Control too.
Bad business.
The best partnership I've ever had.
Yeah, partnership is the word I was looking for.
Dude, the best partnerships I've ever had in my entire life have been whenever either someone puts money and skin in the game, meaning that they actually put their time and money into it because you're invested too, or you have 3 parts. You have the money, you have the sweat equity, and then you have like the consulting expertise, whatever it is, where you can like direct the money and the energy to go. Those are like the 2 best sorts of partnerships that you can have is either you both have money and equity, like sweat equity in the deal where you're making it work because you're both vested, or you have the sweat equity, the actual money equity, and then like a consultant that can fucking steer the ship in the right path. But every person in both of those parties realizes that you have one bird, basically. Think about it this way. If you have a bird that has 2 wings and one wing is fucking broken or just doesn't flap, you're going to fucking be going down in a circle all the way until that other fucking wing starts to flap and then you can come back up.
Yep.
You have to have both parties working together to keep the body of the engine going. If you don't have that, you're fucked. Like, there's no point in even
now.
There's no point in even trying if one part's not going to try. You may as well just fucking sink the ship faster.
And it's almost like what we're seeing. And again, both sides of the political spectrum are trashed right now because all they do is A, trash each other, B, not work together, C, talk smack on Twitter. Like I can talk smack on Twitter because I'm a nobody. You guys are representing the American people and like firing back off at each other. And I know Trump's probably the guiltiest of that. Let's put him in the number 1 position for Twitter, asshole. That's fine. We're going to hold people accountable where they need to be held accountable. But like, it was already in that direction before he showed up.
Well, and here's the other thing. Twitter right now is the only...
is gone in politics too.
Twitter's the only place for...
Fight.
Yeah. I was going to say, Twitter's the only place where Trump actually has, where he can say whatever the fuck he wants. They may put, this has been like disputed, whatever, but at least he can fucking type or has someone type for him. I don't think he runs his own Twitter, but like he probably has some person that sits beside him all fucking day and he's like, hey, Johnny, say that the Democrats are fucking losers. It's scumbags. And that, and write that Elizabeth Warren is What's a
Pocahontas.
fucking Native American? What's a Native American? Pocahontas. Yeah, put that. She's a fucking Pocahontas. I'm gonna use that forever. That sounds good. Yeah, hit tweet. Hit tweet. Like, what the fuck? He's probably all coked out, and I hope he is. I fucking hope. I hope Donald Trump is coked the fuck out of his mind.
Oh,
Just
man,
fucking making
that shit. I might come out of retirement too.
Same. Honestly, God, that's why I mean, if I were to become a politician, I would be fucking doing blow. I would be trying to, like, figure out what stocks are going up and down and having fucking day traders in the fucking Philippines use VPNs.
That's what these people do. It was so funny. My wife had a friend over the other night, and she's super fun. And they were just hanging out and drinking or whatever. I had to get up and go to the bathroom or whatever. And I came out to get some water, and they were like doing their thing. We all started talking for a minute, and we were laughing about how Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart do cooking shows together, because she's like, your wife is such a Martha Stewart with the decorations with the Christmas tree and stuff like that. And I kind of like laughed, and I'm like, so funny when she does the show with Snoop Dogg. And it's so funny that she's the only one that's been indicted and prosecuted and gone to jail out of that duo. Why? For insider trading. She had inside information because she was an influencer, and she knew but politicians that knew where the movement was going to be, and she placed bets, just like you said earlier, and got busted for it. And we've seen,
but guess what?
Feinstein and Pelosi and whoever that Republican chick is from North Carolina or South Carolina, again, both sides of the aisle, that magically have these funds that they don't manage. These funds, they're managed by some other person. And they automatically get these massive payments when something goes up or down, especially in 2020 with this pandemic and this massive shift of wealth that happened with shutting down the economy.
Well,
these people got rich.
I made a bunch of money. I made a bunch of money off of the pandemic too.
Went broke. Right, but not
I was selling fucking masks day one. Good. No, but I was literally I was brokering deals.
Feinstein.
I brokered a deal with fucking members of the government in Florida for masks.
Well,
like I was fucking.
That's supply and demand there,
dude. The moment that I saw that this was happening, I also the Masters in Augusta, Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
They needed a shit ton of hand sanitizer because they thought they were still going to have the Masters at that time. Sold them a fuck ton.
Dude, that is awesome.
But, like, I saw that opportunity, and then I was like, okay, I'm going to do that. And then literally maybe 4 or 5 weeks into doing that and brokering deals, so many fucking brokers, every single person was a broker. They were like, oh, do you need N95 masks? I got 10 million in China. I got whatever, blah, 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 blah.
And I was like, yeah.
Well, yeah, if you're in the entrepreneur space, it's like every single person that pitched wholesale CBD flower fucking in the very beginning started to pitch distillate. And then they started to pitch cryptocurrencies whenever that ran out. And then they started to pitch fucking Shopify drop shipping stores. And then they were credit experts. And then they were fucking whatever. Every single person that switched and flip-flopped across the fucking board and didn't actually build anything, they're going to keep doing that the rest of their lives. Because they don't commit to just having one singular vision and making the bird flap both of its wings. They don't take their body to whatever. I'm not saying that I take my body to like any sort of level, but I'm building a gym, so I'm fucking trying. And like, I'm lazy, but like, I'll invest in myself. If I put fucking 20 grand in gym equipment, I'm gonna fucking use it. So,
right.
But like, if I spend $20 on a gym membership, I don't give a fuck about $20. I know that a lot of people are gonna be like, "Oh, he sounds like an asshole." I really don't fucking care. I don't care about $2,000. Like, I don't give a fuck.
I love that. I posted something that was funny, some funny skit or something on my Instagram, and some guy came on there and posted, "Man, you shouldn't make fun of some girl that sounds like she's, having some kind of a breakdown or something." And you came on and commented, you were like, "I don't really think that Pat gives a fuck what you think." And I was like, touche, my friend, touche. Like, I didn't post that because I was worried about what Jablo or whatever his name was going to think if he thought it was funny or not. I thought it was funny. That's why I made it. But a lot of people, and this is something that plagues entrepreneurs too, is that they want to be friends with everybody. And this goes back to everything we've talked about in this episode, is at some point in your life, you're going to have to pick a side. You're going to have to pick a stance on things, and you're going to have to stand for something, or you'll just be remembered as somebody who didn't stand for anything.
So hold on. I want to actually give politicians gratitude where gratitude is owed, right?
Mm-hmm.
One thing that you can take away from politicians as a whole, unless they are completely fucking spineless cunts, like the one thing that you can take away from them is that they fucking draw a line in the sand. They say, "I don't give a fuck if you don't like me." And that's one thing that I can respect.
Even the loud ones that have huge internet followings that maybe aren't certain people's favorites, the AOCs or the Donald Trumps or I don't know, you people out there, think of one on whatever side you want to think on that's got a big social media following and people either love them or they hate them.
Bro.
I think those are two examples. But dude, both of those people I just named, they draw the line in the sand. They believe what they believe, and they don't care what you think. And they find ways to win.
Oh, okay. I hate AOC as a politician, right? I don't like any of her policies. I think that she's a fucking complete and utter idiot. And I think Donald Trump is a complete and utter idiot on a lot of things too. So I think he's smart on the things that I care about, which is basically money policies and basic freedom rights. So, like, I don't really care so much about like social change as far as climate change or whether or not
that shit.
Yeah, or whether or not like sex work is like real work. I don't give a fuck. That's a debate that doesn't matter at this time.
It doesn't matter to me either.
I hate AOC, but I follow her and I watch her tweets, and that's an important lesson because you don't need to be liked.
That's why I named her. That's exactly why I named her.
Dude, you don't need to be liked to whatever to be able to garner an audience of people. The hate comments rank just as high as the love comments in the algorithm. So you just let it do what it does. And if you're yourself and you're polarizing, that's great. If you're bland and you're whatever, and that's your style and that's organic, that's great. The reality is there's 7 billion people in the world, and realistically, you only need to get like 10,000 of them to watch your stuff. Exactly. Like, it's such a small percentage. You have a better chance of like dying from COVID than not being able to get 10,000 subs on fucking YouTube. And also, I follow AOC because of one picture that got sent to me, and we should post it on here like as like a pop-up thing. But it's AOC in like this, it's like this see-through shirt, and her titties are out, and that's why I follow AOC.
Hold on now. Hold on.
Type in AOC see-through shirt or something, and take your safe search off. That's how you go to search for porn.
Is it really that pornographic?
No, but like her titties are out, and I was like, I'm in full support of congresswomen that look like her with those titties to be out.
Okay, hold on. I got a picture here of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez that is I got to be quicker here. We haven't been practicing this tactic.
We haven't. It's okay.
JPEG image. Okay, StreamYard.
we're gonna have to do like some random like, we're gonna have to do some random like quick
guy
draws
on it too. It's got some fat guy on it too. But hold on, here we go. Boom.
Nope, that's not
There
it.
you go.
Nope,
that's not it. But I mean, that's fine. But nice build there. That is a nice build.
Agreed.
Especially
That's not it. I'm gonna
that guy.
Well, yeah, or me, or between both of us. We're just flip flopping back and forth between us. I ain't mad at that. You should leave that girl up and just leave our voices over it.
But yeah, I guess something about the appearance that she presented caught your attention and you followed her. I follow her too, because I don't agree with everything she says. And so I purposely follow people that I don't agree with everything they say.
No. You're mishearing me. I followed her because of the same reasons that you're saying. She said once something along the lines of like, the Green New Deal will only cost $72 trillion. I don't understand why it won't get approved. It will only cost $10 million to print.
Give me a break.
And I was like, you stupid fucking bitch. Do you not understand inflation? And then later, I saw a picture of her where she was in like this black see-through thing and her titties were out. And I was like, I'm going to keep following this girl. That's how Instagram keeps you like in the loop. Like,
right.
They're like, oh, he's feigning interest on, anything that this girl has to say. Let's get him some titties. They're not wrong. It kept me.
Oh.
Did you see the thing that I sent you about Instagram? How they're gonna be able to look at all your messages?
Yeah, you did. You showed me that. I was not happy about that.
Do you want to talk about that at all?
Sure, let's talk about it. Why don't you explain to the people what you explained to me about how Instagram can pretty much read everything on your phone? Here's another picture of her, by the way. Hold on, loading now. Is that the one?
That one, but yeah, that's an edited photo. I don't know why. Look at Tom Wolfe in the background. Like, did you see that bitch's titties earlier? The black guy too. He's literally looking over her shoulder, like, yeah, I'd fuck her. 100%. Look at that. He's got the lip up.
Most of the time that I see her, it's text that came out of her brain. I don't generally look at her. You know what I mean? She's
hot. Girl. Yeah,
she is.
No, she's good looking.
Most of the time, I'm just reading the dumb shit that she says. So you know what I mean? It's hard to look at her now and be like, man, you're smoking hot, even though she's got a nice build. But you know what I'm saying? It's like when someone says that much shit. And I'm the same way. I talk my shit too. She would probably think I'm an idiot too. So maybe we can go to, Idiots Buffet for lunch sometime and hang out and chat it up and take a picture. She's way bigger on the internet than I am.
Bro, I would go to the strip club with AOC.
Oh, man. She might know the bartender.
Well, I was going to say I would go to the strip club with her because she promotes sex work. So, like, she's probably going to buy a lap dance or two.
She might buy 3 or 4. And since she's into socialism, she might buy it for the whole fucking bar.
I may do the same if she does it. So, like,
AOC, we got a party invitation for you, honey.
If you're trying to party, let me know. I think you're really fucking dumb, but I would like to hang out with you.
Mike likes your tits too.
Mostly that. Yeah. AOC is like probably in like my top.
That right there is probably going to be our strongest clip ever. We're marking that one into the books. 43 minutes on this one. We're either gonna get removed from the internet or everybody's gonna love us for that one. I think I know what it's gonna be.
This is gonna be our paid ad.
This is by far the But this is the shit that we've been talking about. We can't just sit here and avoid all this stuff and expect to be entertaining. We can't sit here and just avoid everything and be the boring business podcast and think that we're being real and that we're being freaking fun and 2021. Dude, no. We're talking about AOC's tits.
Well, like,
that's what the kids want to talk about these days.
I don't hate talking about it. I wish you would have found a better photo, but I'll send it to you and you can dub it in later.
I've never actually like searched for, I've never really like sought out anything about her. I just see it because I follow it and I want to see what's coming out of her mouth. But today we went on Google and actually looked for AOC. So there's a first time for everything.
Dude, your search engine.
She said Goya Foods, the Goya guy endorsed Donald Trump. She clearly doesn't like Donald Trump. So she's like, everybody boycott Goya. And Goya's sales
went through the
roof. And they made her employee of the month for this month for December. That is fucking savage.
Bro, I showed my wife that and I said, this is one of the most savage things I've ever seen a company do.
That is beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful.
But seriously, will you clip that so that way we can run that as our ad? I want to run that as our first fucking ad.
I already have it marked down. I'll have that clip up today.
You're gonna have to bleep the tits part and then put like letters over like my mouth or something like that. That say like no, for the ad. For the ad you have to.
See, we're talking business now for all you business people. We're actually going to use this to try and get business. Isn't that sick? I guarantee you there's some woman out there who's going to see this and be like, these two are just sick. Drinking in his car. They're probably a piece of shit husband and father, too. And then that's probably the same lady who goes and bumps Dark Horse by Katy Perry while her kids are in the car. And it just talks about stripping and freaking, having your genitals out in public. That's what you moms do. We know what you moms do in the van with the kids. Don't try.
Also, those songs bump.
They do bump.
They're also good.
It's always, and this goes back to square one, what we were talking about earlier. One side or the other wants to lecture the other side on how bad they are, but they never actually prosecute the same people right next to them that do the same shit. If you're going to sling shit at Ivanka, then you better be slinging shit at Hunter. If you're going to sling shit at Donald Trump Jr., you better be slinging shit at whoever else on the other side, Feinstein and her crooked ass kid or whoever they're involved with. That's the problem we're at right now in that spectrum, is that people defend their side when they do the same thing that they're mad at the other side for. It's unfucking believable.
Let me tell you a story so I got death threats from doing this on Facebook Marketplace. 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, Hatchimals came out and Ryan's Toy Review or whatever.
My daughter loves Hatchimals.
Okay, so the first year that they came out, I would probably be one of the people that you fucking hate. The first year that they came out, I went to every fucking Walmart in the middle of the night and bought pallets of them.
Nice.
Every motherfucking Alicorn, every goddamn one. And I posted a picture on Facebook Marketplace of like 200 of these motherfuckers. And I bought them all for like $30 or whatever it was. And I resold them all for like $150 each.
Damn.
People were upset at the fact that they were sold out, but I had heard that they were sold out in California earlier, so I went out and bought all of them because I knew it was coming. So you can either be really mad at me or someone else was going to beat me to the punch or whatever, but they were all going to get sold and resold anyways.
Right.
So whenever things like that happen, you can either be observant of trends in the way that they're performing, or you cannot be. But like the people that gave me death threats because they were like, I had one dude threaten to rape and kill my wife and kid.
Jesus.
And he was like, I know who you are, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I'll tell you where I am. I gave my address. Like, I'm fine with that. However, those same people that talk shit and say that they'll do whatever that they're going to do, the whole reason that they're not going to go rape and kill my whole fucking family is because they can't even fucking take action to go get their kids the toy that they asked for 4 fucking months ago.
Y'all put that in your pipe and smoke on that one, motherfuckers.
So
that's why Gary Vee, I was talking to Gary Vee. This was years ago. I always refer to this conversation because he gave me such good advice. It felt like we talked for like a half an hour, but I guarantee you it was only like 2 or 3 minutes, but it was like speed demons. He's just as quick as I am when he needs to be. Obviously he can slow down, but like I was like super hyper, wanted to chat with him, muscled my way through this crowd. And we were kind of chatting and he said, dude, that's the reason why I give away everything. I give away everything because there's like literally like 0.07% of people that are even going to take action. Like the fact that you're taking action, the fact that you wanted to lug your speaker down here and perform, the fact that you made a song, the fact that you're willing to put your time and your heart and your soul into your craft puts you literally eons above people that maybe potentially are smarter than you, more talented than you, have better gear than you, more connections. You will beat them out because of the action that you take.
Yep.
That's why he gives away all the information, because he knows most people aren't going to do anything anyway. So he's not threatened by somebody else being more successful or blowing up because of something that he posted, because most people aren't going to do shit.
Dude, my favorite comments on that whole thing were, I hope that this guy gets stuck with, and this is my Karen voice. So white ladies, you can be upset too. I hope that this guy gets stuck with all the fucking, Hatchimals and can't return them or whatever. Do you fucking think that like we didn't keep all the receipts? Yeah. Literally, I had a 0 lose scenario.
Yeah, because you have 30 days to return something to Target or Walmart or wherever you got it. Even an idiot knows that.
And also, if they're unopened, you can just be like, oh, I remember being here around this time or whatever. And if they're unopened, you can fucking bring them back anyways. They'll still take them. So, like, at what point, even if I only sold half of them at fucking 5x, I'm still number 1 in the money. Number 2, I can return the rest, and that's still all profit. Like,
right.
I just don't. So here's a lesson for you. If you know there's a popular Christmas gift and it's around in your area, fucking go to Ryan's Toy Review on YouTube. That kid made $280 million this year reviewing toys. So he's 9 years old. So I feel really fucking terrible about myself. I don't know how that makes you feel, but he's 9. And he made $280+ million this year reviewing toys. Go follow what the fuck he says are going to be the hot toys, and then go buy them and sell them on fucking eBay. There's a strategy for you. If you want a go-to thing right now, and you want to take a lesson from AOC's tits or anything else, draw a fucking line in the sand, watch Ryan's Toy Reviews, and go buy out all that shit and then sell it on eBay, Craigslist, Amazon, wherever the fuck you can sell it, and you're welcome. You now have made money. If you can't sell it, return it so you can get your money back. It's not rocket science.
No, it's not. Not at all. Not at all. People are they have a tough time thinking outside the box. They have a tough time committing, and not only committing, but part of commitment is taking action and being willing to not be very good at first. And nobody wants to suck. A lot of people
I suck at almost everything I do.
A lot of people can't suck at anything. They'd rather just fly under the radar, not get criticized, not put themselves out there. Not, you know what I mean? It's safer that way. And we've been told this even when we were kids, just be seen and not heard, don't direct too much attention to yourself. That's not how the big leagues work. That's not a big league lesson.
Well,
that's like a Cardonism too. Is like this whole, you need attention, you need eyeballs. And the AOCs, the Donald Trumps, like them or not, the Ilhan Omars, the Feinsteins or the Pelosi's or the whoever's, you don't have to like them. But they know how to get attention and they know how to get eyeballs. And the more eyeballs you get, the better of a chance you have of converting. And sometimes that means drawing the enemy out, like you said. Shit comments rank just as high as good ones. Joel Osteen, the pastor guy, makes a lot of money talking about God and Jesus, and people shit on him all the time for profiting off it.
Yep.
I don't care what you do, or if you're an inside trader, you're Martha Stewart, or you're Snoop Dogg, or you're whoever you are, somebody's going to shit on you no matter what.
Bro, I literally just said I said it to my wife and to our accountant and attorney. So Owen's looking into this. But apparently, if you have a church, you can pay yourself a housing allowance.
Let's get it.
And then your company can then donate to that church, and all that's a tax write-off. So I was like, you're telling me that, like, I could literally basically stop paying taxes to a degree.
Right.
And there's Joel Osteen, I think, has a jet.
Yeah, he does.
I'm not mad at anyone that uses the fucking loopholes.
Why would I be mad at the guy? I think he's kind of
mad props.
In fact,
mad fucking props.
I would argue, even if I have a stance different than anyone I've mentioned in this podcast, the reason why I mention the people in this podcast is because they're doing something right. How about that?
Yeah.
How about that? I might not like everything about the people that have been mentioned, but they came out of my mouth because they caught my attention. They're doing something that is garnering tons of attention, or I wouldn't know who they are.
Yep.
Flying under the radar gets you under the radar results, which is nobody sees you, nobody hears you, and it can't be that big unless it's exploding.
Yes, I agree. I mean, there are definitely some people that make a ton of money and fly under the radar, but nevertheless, they probably reached out and network direct one-to-one. They may not have like a desire to have like any sort of public persona, and that's fine. I know a lot of people that are really fucking rich, like that don't have any public persona whatsoever, but they were never afraid to ask for help from someone or be polarizing in whatever space they were. Like, I can think of literally zero people that I know that are super successful that don't piss, like, either you love them or you hate them. That's how it goes for almost any of those people that I know. And even if I hate them, I still respect them for what they are. Like, does that make sense?
No, it totally makes sense. And I think that
I thought you were frozen for a second.
No, I was just thinking, it's important for people to remember that, we come on here, we talk our shit. Okay. We're a couple of assholes, a couple of knuckleheads, but at the same time, the only reason why we're mentioning certain things or certain concepts or certain names or influencers or politicians or whatever you have it, or ways of thinking, is because we're trying to get people to think outside the box or to critically analyze something or to take something about what we discussed and agree with it, disagree with it, but at least stand for something. Internalize it, figure out what it is for you. You might say, dude, I don't even like these dudes, but you know what? Just like they follow this person they don't like, I'm going to follow them too, because they're sparking something in me that's making me think. Well, why don't I like them? What is it about those guys that I don't like? Because they're obviously shifting something inside me to get me to think one way or the other. If it was, they're boring and they're lame and I'm never going to watch them again, that wouldn't be a good thing. But if it's, I fucking hate those guys, dude, we're obviously doing something right. People hated Eminem. He's the best-selling rapper of all time because he said fucked up shit. He took a stance on stuff. He talked a whole bunch of shit about gay people on a rap track. And then a few months later was at the Grammys performing with Elton John, who's clearly openly gay. That was a big fucking deal.
Is Elton John gay?
Elton John's gay, bro. Welcome to like
I'm just fucking with you.
Oh, I was gonna say I don't want to like really insult Mike because I don't care, but it was interesting.
I'm just fucking with you.
That he made all those, pretty much homophobic remarks. And then all of a sudden he's on the Grammy with an openly gay guy who's playing the piano and he's rapping along to it. That was a fucking big deal. But guess what, dude? Just because he said it on the track and he was being a dick on the track doesn't mean he's a piece of shit asshole.
I mean,
he's probably a dick. But,
although
I'm making an observation.
I like his music, some of it, but like he's polarizing. Like
that's what I was getting at. That's what I was getting at.
He went on and said every person that's a Trump supporter basically go fuck themselves, which
totally.
Okay, great. For a while I was like, cool, I won't stream your shit. And then like it doesn't matter, he's good and I still listen to it.
He's good.
So it's like I took a stance for a little bit.
Soldier from the Eminem show might be his greatest track of all time.
I don't know.
I'm a soldier. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know the song you're talking about. I'm just saying.
Gets me off. Like when my fucking lawyer gets me off.
That was a good song.
Man, it was a good one. And he came with it on that one. But anyway, I think it's important to think about everything we covered in this Business and Buds episode was a lot of taking a stance. I don't care if it's right or left, or if it's rapper rocker, or if it's finances guy and athlete. You've got to somehow stand out in the modern era. There's so much noise right now, especially in the social media space. Like if you're just flatlining, it's like I find it very hard for anyone to gain any kind of momentum if they're flatlining. If there's low energy and it's chill and it's just this and it's that, and it's like, unless you're a fucking yoga instructor or relaxation coach, you've got to have some kind of spunk. And again, back to AOC. That's what people like. That's what catches people's eye and attention about AOC. She's got spunk, like it or not. Trump has spunk, like it or not. That's why we're so surprised that Joe Biden got all those votes, because he has no fucking spunk at all.
No.
You want to talk about a
coward.
Flatliner? That guy is a total flatliner. Zero energy. And the interesting thing is that he didn't used to be like that. If you go back in time, he was a little bit more punchy.
Well, no, he used to drop the N-bomb.
He has before, and you guys can look that one up. We're not going to be playing that one on the show, but you guys can.
No, go ahead. You can roll that clip.
No, you guys can find that one on your own. I believe he was reading a transcript from something that somebody said.
Sure. Well, how does that reflect with the crime bill?
That's what I was told. Well, yeah.
How does that reflect with the crime bill?
The crime bill.
I'm just saying, like, do they coincide together? Whenever he said that they should be separated into, he didn't want his kids to be in an interracial jungle.
You're talking racial jungles. Predators.
Yeah.
They're predators. And then the fact checkers are like, well, he didn't say super predators. Okay, so he didn't use the word super. He still called them predators. God.
Yeah.
Fact checkers.
Oh, I can't wait for whoever. Honestly, I should ask Owen this, but I would love to bring a class action lawsuit against Instagram for their fact checking.
Oh, that's what Candace Owens is doing, right?
Is she?
So
good.
Candace
I hope someone's doing it.
Yeah. Candace Owens is suing Mark Zuckerberg. I made a little song ad for her. By the way, Candace, you have not shared my song ad. Now, no hard feelings.
Please share.
Love you. Big fan, but please share the fucking song video. How hard is it for you to share it? Love you no matter what. You look beautiful, by the way, with the new baby and everything going on. But please, can you share the video? So I made a song. Factcheckzuck.com is the name of her website. She is filing against Mark Zuckerberg and his fact checkers, saying that, pretty much that they are full of shit. And so we're going to have to see how that turns out. Now, there was, to give her some credit, she's already been right once. So she posted something about Joe Biden not being the president-elect officially. This was a little bit ago. This was before the Electoral College, quote unquote, certification. So that may have changed statistically. I don't know. But this was before he was really certified by the Electoral College. And they fact-checked her video and said that he is the president-elect, even though she was claiming he wasn't in the video. She filed some kind of thing against PolitiFact, and won. Yeah. And they went back and changed it and said, hey, we were wrong. Joe Biden's not really the president-elect yet. His votes have not been certified. Ooh, that stings. You got
she's 1-0.
I mean, come on.
I love her. And Tomi Lahren.
Oh God, yeah. She just gets hotter every year.
Dude, she's like Jennifer Aniston. Jennifer Aniston is one of those girls that gets more beautiful every year too.
By the way, you ladies are welcome to come on our show anytime. AOC, never. You're welcome too. But if AOC, if you're gonna come on the show, we got to have Candace on at the same time. Oh. Candace is going to have to be on at the same time because we're going to need a little, we're going to need a little ammo on our side here.
Well, I was going to say, AOC, if you want, wear that shirt. That would be great.
Oh, God. But yeah. All you ladies, hit us up. Keep in touch. We love you guys. It's no hard feelings, But Candace and Tommy, you guys are really going to need to come on. We're going to need your presence here on the Business and Bud podcast. We are pro America. We are pro small business. We are pro capitalism, and we are pro everything that makes America great.
And we are anti-forced vaccines that came out in the past fucking 3 weeks.
Yeah, people should have a choice. People should at least have a choice. I mean, come on.
Hold on. I feel like I can finally use this argument. My body, my choice, right?
Oh, that's the one we were waiting on. I was waiting on something.
Can I use that?
Yeah, you can use that now. But
good.
You got to remember that, I'm sure somebody would have an argument for that, but you don't understand that doesn't count because blah, 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 blah. It's people are allowed to have different opinions than other people. That's the great thing.
Yeah. The cool thing about mine is like, if I choose not to do it, the death rate remains at like less than 0.5%. But the murder rate on abortion is 100%. So I mean, I don't know. I'm just like saying from a math perspective, like my body, my choice, right?
That is some definitive math there. That is definitive.
So hope that you guys like the episode.
Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and get notified. This is the Business and Buds Show. We love you. We appreciate you. We support you thinking for yourself and analyzing what we say and creating your own dream life. Doesn't have to be just like ours, but it should be what you want because your time is limited and you have great things in your future if you choose to pursue great things. So, Mike, as always, my friend, we'll talk soon.